The time has come now to review the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra after my 10 months of usage. I want to say one thing, I absolutely love this device over here, but a lot of people have been asking me after the release of the Google Pixel 8 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max that should they still pick up this Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra or no, and that is one of the major reasons that I am revisiting this device after 10 months of my usage. Now, before I get further into this video, I would want to say just one thing. The Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is the perfect all-rounder smartphone with little to no complaints about all this year. But it surprises me that how quickly the tech gets old, and this is my biggest complaint with the smartphone, which answers the questions to most of those people who ask me that should they buy the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra after the release of the Google Pixel 8 Pro or no, and I will talk about all of those things and how I concluded this video. So let me talk about the first thing, that is the display on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Now, the display on this smartphone is bright and gorgeous with 1750 nits of peak brightness and 120 Hz of variable refresh rate, which can go down to 1 Hz, and again the maximum is 120 Hz. The panel is almost edge to edge with a slight chin at the bottom, but the moment you put it against something like the iPhone 15 Pro Max, it looks a bit dull. And if again you put it against the Google Pixel 8 Pro, the difference is even more substantial. The display leans more towards the warm yellow tones even with the eye control shield turned off, but again you would notice it only if you compare it against the Google Pixel 8 Pro right in front of you or even the iPhone 15 Pro Max. But otherwise the difference is something that is not noticeable a lot if you just have the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra in front of you. Sorry Samsung, I'm a bit more spoiled now, but you can spoil me even more by hitting a subscribe to this channel so that I can bring new smartphones and review so much new tech just for you all guys. Now, let us talk about the second thing on this list, that is the design on the smartphone, which is perfect again. You may hate the curved screen, but I enjoy them even more in comparison to any other regular flat display smartphone, and that is just because the moment you start to consume media on these displays, I think these looks the best in comparison to all the flat displays that we have in the market. But what is shifted in the market right now with the introduction of the iPhone 15 Pro Max is that we have now the titanium frame on the smartphones, and that makes me feel that the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, because it has an aluminum frame, it is just aging in the times of what we have in the market just right now. But again, this is not something that you would need, and I still think that aluminum in my opinion is just perfectly fine. But anyway, the trend is with the titanium frame bodies, and Samsung will do it. I'm sure that Samsung will learn from Apple and make the frame more durable. But there you have it, sign of aging design on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Now, the next big thing that I want to talk about on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is the cameras on this smartphone, and by no means it is a bad camera setup, but again this is a aging camera setup in comparison to what we have with the latest flagships in the market. Now again, I was happy with the cameras on this smartphone until again I started to use iPhone 15 Pro Max and the Google Pixel 8 Pro. In today's standard, I would rate this camera like a solid good A, but it falls short of iPhones and the Pixels in every way. My take is that Samsung should bring a 1-inch sensor with a good optical zoom up to 15x. I do not really care about the 100x zoom, and that is something that I use in very less situations. I almost never use the 100x zoom on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. The only time I use it is when I want to show something on this video or something that I want to show on this channel. So that is the only time that this feature is useful, that I would want a solid 15x zoom, that is an optical zoom on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra next year. A 1-inch camera sensor with Samsung's years of R&D in perfecting the color science on their camera application. I think it would do wonder if they have something like this on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, but again this is not something that is there on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and that is why I say that this thing over here is just aging very well off just in 10 months of its release date. Now what I mean to say is that the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, it just falls short of the competition at this point. Here are the results in front of you in comparison to the Google Pixel 8 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and you are the better judge over here. In almost every scenario, you can see that the shots that come out of the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra are just not sharp enough. They lose a lot of contrast, and even in some of the situations like the harsh sunlight, it just fails to perform in comparison to what we have with the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the Google Pixel 8 Pro. Now over here there is another twist. If you're still looking to buy the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and if you cannot wait for the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, there are quite a few of things that are still aging well on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and I'm talking about all those great good features that are baked into the UI and the snappy Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor which is made for Galaxy. Now let me just brief about the features that are exclusive to the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra and are something that matters to me a lot. I'm not talking about the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor. I will come on to that later in this video. The first feature that I want to talk about is the call background feature, which is similar to the personalized call feature on the iPhones. If you go to the phone application, the three dots on the top and then the settings, and there you go, you have the call background feature. With this feature enabled, you will be able to personalize your calls the way that you want by selecting the picture or a video to show whenever someone makes or receives the calls. That is similar to what the Apple is able to do on the iOS 17, but that was a feature that was available on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra way before than what we had with the iPhones. Now the second feature that I want to talk about is the caller ID and spam protection on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Now the smartphone uses Haya to identify spam and the scam callers as well as other callers who are not in your contacts. Now Haya is a trusted global business, and it provides Samsung with a secure imaging connection and stop unwanted calls. Sweet. Now the third feature that I love the most on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is the way that you can customize this device using the Good Lock application that is again exclusive to only the Galaxy smartphones. It pairs with its own set of applications which can be downloaded and used within the app. Just look at this pointer on the screen. I hover over to it and it gives me a personalized bed, or even if you look at this drop down screen, it matches the color from the official Google palette. Or look at the icons on my Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, they are all color matched. This is how customizable this Good Lock feature is, and it is the best way to customize your smartphone, specifically the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and this is way better than what we have on the iPhones in the terms of the customizability and even on the Google Pixel 8 Pro. Again, this is a free feature, and this is something that is very useful to make a smartphone look and feel like what you really want the smartphone to be. It is just like you are the sole owner of that device, and that is how it is customized according to your own taste. Now apart from that, there are some other cool features as well that are included on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Just like the Bixby text call feature, when someone calls you, it shows you a small bubble saying Bixby text call, and you can then click on it and swipe up to answer. And you can also use the pre-built messages or tap on the message box, and then you can use the voice assistant to type, or else you can switch to the voice call for the regular calls. There are even more features, but you got the point. The software here is not aged, and it is on par with anything else on the market like the Google Pixel 8 Pro. I know that the Google Pixel 8 Pro has a lot of nitty-gritty features, but again, that phone is just way too slow. Everything is happening on the cloud than rather being happening on the smartphone itself, and I would any day buy the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra than picking up the Google Pixel 8 Pro just for the AI features. Now talking about the processor, which is another thing that I wanted to mention here, is that it is faster than what we have on the Google Pixel 8 Pro, as I just mentioned. It is miles better really, and if we ignore all the Apple hype and disregard a few numbers on the Geek benchmark, I would say that the processor on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is a better one, at least on par with the latest Apple device that we have. It might be a few bit short, but you got the point. It is not a slouch processor, something that I saw with the Google Pixel 8 Pro with the G3 Tensor chip. It is just a very slow and a sluggish performing smartphone in comparison to the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra that we have. Now, it is a worthy one, and even though we already have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in the market, until we have it on the major players, I would still call it a win on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Now, Lastly, after 10 months, how is the battery life stacking up on this device and how does it compare with the Google Pixel 8 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max? Well, this is a strong one for the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. It charges quickly and it is even better than the Google Pixel 8 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max as I just mentioned. The 45-watt may be short of the standard that is set up by the Chinese smartphones in the market, but it is still worthy and better than what we have vastly in this North American market. To my surprise, in these 10 months, I never saw heating issues on the smartphone, and it has been a great one when playing games and charging the phone side by side thanks to the pause USB power delivery option that is available on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. The battery life on average I saw was more than my iPhone 15 Pro Max and the Google Pixel 8 Pro. In some of the situations, I would say it gives me more choice than the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and the rest of the other days it does not. Considering that still this smartphone is 10 months old, I would say it still stacks up really well against iPhone 15 Pro Max in most of the situations, and that is a big surprise to me. Well, that had been my usage of the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra for the past 10 months. It is a great smartphone for productivity. Thanks to the S Pen, it is a great smartphone for consuming media. Thanks to the large display, and also it has been a great smartphone for travel. Thanks for the 5000 mAh battery capacity. Also, it has a reliable camera system thanks to the 200 megapixel main camera sensor on this smartphone. Also, it has a better authentication system thanks to the in-display ultrasonic fingerprint scanner on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. What I mean to say is that the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is still a great smartphone and a great bang for your buck. If you get this device cheap on a used device discount or a contract, yes, go and buy it. Else, I would say the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra over here, it has started to show off its age, and that is the key over here. This phone over here is almost 10 months old, and that is something that you need to consider while consider this device against the Google Pixel 8 Pro. If you're looking to buy a new device right now in the market, I would say just wait for 2 more months and buy the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, because again it will come with a newer processor, a newer build quality, and maybe a completely redesign of the smartphone as we see over here, and that is something that I would prefer to buy in the year 2024 rather than buying this Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Again, if you're comparing it against the Google Pixel 8 Pro, this one over here is the better device, but I do not prefer you to buy this smartphone over here. That was all that I wanted to share about in this video, and that was the question that a lot of people ask me in all of the comments that I get on my videos. Again, thanks for supporting this channel and thanks for commenting. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel. My name is Anshul. Thanks for watching again, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.